Shirley Horn was born May 1st, 1934 in Washington, D.C. She began studying classical piano at the age of 4. It was said that she loved the instrument so much that her mother had to bribe her to take a break just to go out and play. Showing great promise, she began studying composition at Howard University at the age of 12. And at 18, she was offered a scholarship at the prestigious Juilliard School of Music in New York. Her parents couldn't afford to pay for her to live in New York City, so Shirley had to return home. She went back to Howard to take more music classes, but soon had to quit because she needed a full-time job. After discovering the U Street jazz area of D.C., she began sneaking into jazz clubs before she was of age to feed her growing appetite for this new music called jazz that literally changed the direction of her life and her music. In 1960, Shirley Horn recorded her first album, Embers and Ashes, in New York on a small label that did very little with it. But as fate would have it, somehow that record got heard by Miles Davis, who was so impressed by her that he took her under his wing and brought her back to New York to perform with him at the Village Vanguard. With a thumbs up from the highly respected Miles Davis and her undeniable talent, things began to happen for Miss Horn. She toured and recorded on several small labels until she landed a contract with Mercury Records. Mercury gave her the opportunity with the great composer and arranger, Quincy Jones. But Mr. Jones wanted Shirley to sing only because he loved her voice so much. He said it was like clothes as she seduces you with her voice, but she didn't enjoy it that way, and the project did not succeed. Soon after that, Miss Horn decided to come off the road and be a full-time wife to her husband, Shepard Deary, and mother to her daughter, Rainey. But she stayed connected to the jazz scene in D.C., taking a few gigs here and there at local jazz clubs. In the late 70s, when Rainey was all grown up, Miss Horn began to travel and record again. She was popular with jazz critics, but significant success with jazz listeners didn't come until later. In 1981, Paul Aket, then director of the North Sea Jazz Festival in the Netherlands, heard her play in a late-night jam at the Shoreham Hotel in Washington, D.C. after a music convention there. He was so impressed with Miss Horn that he arranged for her to appear in the festival, where she garnered critical acclaim and great popularity among jazz lovers in Europe. She went on to get a contract with Verve, a prestigious jazz record label, recording several very successful albums. In 1991, Miles Davis reunited with Miss Horn to play on her album, You Won't Forget Me. Although Shirley Horn preferred to perform and record in intimate settings with her trio, in 1992 she agreed to record with an orchestra and the great composer and arranger, Johnny Mandel. This CD was titled, Here's to Life. The title tune would become her signature song. Mr. Mandel admiringly described Miss Horn as having two heads because of the way she was able to accompany herself, playing intricate rhythms and harmonies while singing, weaving in and out of the spaces and using everything, even the silence, to interpret the music. Over the years, she was nominated for 9 Grammy Awards. She won the Grammy for Best Jazz Vocal Album in 1999 for her I Remember Miles album. In 2001, Shirley Horn's right foot had to be amputated due to complications from diabetes, a devastating blow to any pianist, especially one whose sound depended greatly on the use of the pedals on the piano. She was not defeated. In 2004, she recorded a live album singing and playing at the O-Bar in Manhattan with trumpeter Roy Hargrove. Some of those tracks can be heard on her album, But Beautiful, the Best of Shirley Horn. In an appearance at the Kennedy Center, she moved herself from her wheelchair to the piano bench to play her signature song, Here's to Life. In 2002, she was awarded an honorary doctorate from Berklee College of Music. She was also recognized by the 109th U.S. Congress for her many achievements and contributions to the world of jazz and American culture. In 2005, she received the National Endowment for the Arts Jazz Masters Award. On Thursday, October 20th, 2005, Miss Shirley Horn died from complications due to diabetes. She was 71 years old. Miss Shirley Horn, will there be another like her? We don't think so.